and welcome to Rock Your Block and today's segment of First Home Alliance. I'm your host, Larry Laws. I'm here to share with you the amazing services that First Home Alliance provide in the community, empower you with knowledge to enhance your financial fitness, and answer questions you may have about housing to make your dream of homeownership a success. On today's episode, we invite a special guest for the first time on our show. He runs a nonprofit and has an extensive background in the real estate industry. He has worked in all aspects of mortgage business, from loan origination to closing. Please welcome to our show, Ross Levin. Ross, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yes. Ross, you traveled here from Maryland.
Yes, sir. I came from Greenbelt.
Greenbelt. How was your trip in?
It was an easy Friday afternoon trip.
Yes. Okay. Well, I met you. Actually, we met a couple of years ago.
Yes, sir.
Yes, and then I think we had a sit down. We spoke maybe a year ago, and finally I had a chance to visit your office. Mm-hmm. And so it was a pleasure visiting your office there, and look forward to doing some great things. And I heard a lot about your organization. But can you share with the audience about you? Where are you from?
I grew up in Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
Mm-hmm. Yes. And how long you been in this area?
I've been here since about almost 20 years. April 15th will be 20 years.
Okay.
So I've been here a while.
All right. You live in the Maryland area?
Yes, I live in Montgomery County.
Okay. Any family in the area?
Yeah, I have actually a twin brother that lives on Capitol Hill.
Mm-hmm. Yes, and so I guess you have put your stake in, and you want to stay here.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Yes,
I love the area here.
Okay, yes. I found out that you know quite a bit about this industry, and you have done some in the lending area, loans. You have done some real estate. What are your experience in real estate?
Well, I've worked with a lot of realtors, and I've done a lot of real estate transactions in real estate as well as with mortgage lending. I was a mortgage loan officer. I was also an underwriter. I was also a processor, and eventually owned my own mortgage company. So I'm very familiar with all aspects of mortgage lending.
Okay, and is that was that a knack of yours? How did you become to say, okay, I want to work mortgages? Where did that come from?
It runs in the family business.
Okay,
it runs in the family doing real estate and mortgages.
Okay, and it's sort of a little bit of a different animal than nonprofit.
Absolutely,
Yes.
It's a whole different. A different side of doing the work. However, now I know, coming from doing mortgages now to the nonprofit, I'm able to go ahead and explain to homeowners the ins and outs of doing loans, what to look for, what not to look for.
Mm-hmm. And with that extensive experience that you have, it seemed like a very good fit for you. Even before you're in the position that you're now, you actually volunteered.
Yes, sir. I actually went ahead and volunteered right at the start of the housing crisis in late 2008. I went ahead and started volunteering for the agency Roots of Mankind as a nonprofit housing counselor to help borrowers avoid foreclosure, and really had a passion for that, helping borrowers, educating borrowers, and being able to go ahead and get resources and be able to share with them the knowledge that I know about mortgage lending, so on and so forth, to be able for them to keep their homes.
Okay, and so now you worked it as a volunteer. Now you full time.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And not only you doing the housing counseling, but you actually has been appointed the executive director.
Yes, sir. I'm the acting executive director of the agency, and we're located in Greenbelt, Maryland.
Yes. And where about geographically, how far are you from the capital? If someone's leaving the D.C. capital headed out to Maryland, how far are you from there? It's like a center point.
We're about maybe 25 minutes, depending upon traffic.
Okay, west.
Correct.
Okay. All right. And is in that area there, what type of facility did you have there? In reference to the office space?
We're in a Class A office space. We're right off the Beltway, right convenient to the metro. People can find us. You can take the metro. We're centrally located.
Okay, all right. And so, what areas do you target in reference to getting your clients?
In terms of targeting, in terms of educating the borrowers and what we do.
The geographical area that most of your market is in.
Geographical area. I apologize.
No problem.
We work we're located in Prince George's County, but we work with residents in Maryland, Washington, D.C., and Northern Virginia as our geographic area.
Okay. And so do you have the facility to actually do one-on-one, face-to-face counseling?
Yes, sir. We do one-on-one, face-to-face counseling.
Okay. And what other methods do you use in reference to in reference to doing your counseling? If you cannot do face-to-face, there are other methods that can be used?
Yes, we do phone counseling. We also do Skype counseling over the internet. We can go ahead and do the FaceTime, the Apple FaceTime, where we're able to go ahead. If someone can't meet with us in our office, what we're able to do is through technology is we're able to go ahead and reach out to those borrowers, those who have internet connections or cell phones, which most everybody does nowadays. Okay.
And you're sharing with our audience about your office there in the location. You are accessible for Metro. What are your office hours?
We're open from 9 to 5, and we're open on Saturdays and Sundays by appointment only.
Okay, all right. And with the organization, you're doing housing counseling. Is there have you worked with some other local agencies on the housing issues?
Yes, I've worked with Prince George's County government. We worked with also the State of Maryland Department of Housing, as well as other state agencies.
Okay.
There's still a need to meet with borrowers, lots of borrowers who are facing foreclosure, especially with the mortgage resets that are going on right now, where they got modifications, and now the modifications have the interest rates have gone up, or real estate taxes have gone up, so that now they're gonna need help again.
Okay, all right. And what are some of the things that your organization is doing to outreach to, get the message to the homeowners? I'm here to help. What are some of the things you're doing?
We reach out to real estate agents. We reach out to local attorneys, let them know that we're in the area and that we are a nonprofit and that we offer free services to be able to go ahead and help borrowers. We also do first-time home buyer education, and we reach out to the real estate agents as well as title companies to go ahead and let them know that we have education we're able to offer to borrowers.
Okay. Yes, and so you're doing a very effective job of that. And so, what are some of the partners that you work with locally that have been a success? In do you have a housing department or any local officials that have helped out in the initiatives to get the word out?
We're working with local government to go ahead and promote our agency.
Okay, all right. Is there any other, I know First Home Alliance, you had mentioned First Home Alliance, but any of the other nonprofits that you're also working with as well?
Yes, we're working with different nonprofits.
Okay, all right. And as you see now, where are the majority of your homeowners that are coming? Where are they getting this information as to how they're finding you? What is working?
What's working really is word of mouth. Going ahead and doing a good job and offering someone an opportunity to be able to stay in their home. In terms of those people that are losing their homes, they refer people to us, as well as doing first-time home buyer education, where they go ahead and they're educated and they know what to ask for when they find a realtor and they apply for a mortgage loan. They're able to go ahead and they'll know the questions, and then seeing that the home buying process isn't so extremely complicated as people think it is, that they go ahead and they like what we've taught them, and they go ahead and then they refer agents. So it's agents refer people to our agency.
Yes. And by you been in the industry for a while, what have you, the effects of that first-time homebuyer education in the beginning? Have you seen a positive effect on that for individuals that are in a home longer? That is there a large percentage that come that did not have homebuyer education? What is the effects of homebuyer education that you've seen?
I've seen through the foreclosure crisis, if the people would have gotten homebuyer education, whether it be first-time homebuyer education or continuing homebuyer education, they would be able to go ahead and they would have known what to look for when they got the type of loans that they got as a result of the foreclosure crisis.
Okay. All right, Ross, we're about to take a short break, but before we go, I would like to remind you that First Home Alliance is a HUD-approved housing counseling agency serving the National Capital Area. If you are a first-time home buyer or a homeowner in need of mortgage assistance, I encourage you to check out the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development website for a HUD-approved agency in your area. We'll be right back after the break. Stay tuned. We need donated funds for leverage so that these grants will match those funds as well. And so that is the encouragement to give for people to give. And I'm trying to use some good language, in reference to because when you talk about financial literacy, homebuyer education, foreclosure prevention, some people say, well, I don't really want to give to that. But I want to speak to the impact of the community, the impact of not only people losing their home, but it highly impacts property values, home ownership. It impacts, crime rate. It impacts homelessness. It impacts high school dropouts. And so I want to demonstrate all those impacts that may not be visible in reference to just home ownership. Welcome back. You're watching Rock Your Block. I'm your host, Larry Laws, on today's segment of First Home Alliance, here with our special guest, Ross Levin. Ross, before the break, we talked about first-time home buyer, but before then, we was talking about some of the partnerships that you work, with local government, local nonprofit organizations. But you've actually, you're already a celebrity.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
You have done some work and have received recognition from that from HUD.
Yes, sir.
Yes, and so that's the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development, which we have been working with in our approved agency. But they also, I know that they seek out, other certified HUD counselors for work in particular areas, because I do understand it is good for your clients to have someone to set face-to-face, to meet face-to-face. I truly understand the video. We do video conference, Skype, but when it's face-to-face is a different story. And so I noticed there was a write-up here. Could you tell me a little bit about the article that was the June 2015 HUD Lines news article?
Sure. This homeowner had been to a number of different attorneys, a number of different agencies, to be able to go ahead and trying to keep her house. She was facing foreclosure. She was 2.5 years behind on her mortgage. She actually is the mother of triplets.
Okay.
And the kids are 3 years old.
Okay.
She lives in Washington, D.C., and she went ahead and she was having the toughest time trying to go ahead and get an affordable payment.
Okay.
And I was able to go ahead and work with her and figure out exactly what type of loan modification she would be able to qualify for. She is raising a family, a single mother. She's very hard for her to go ahead and make extra money. So through the money that she was getting, I was able to go ahead and work with her mortgage servicer to go ahead and get her an affordable mortgage payment. And the problem that the other agencies and the other attorneys had was they didn't look at the full picture. They didn't really go through the budget counseling to know exactly to know that this is not a necessity, that she can cut out her cable TV, that she can go ahead and go on a budget for her cell phone, that she can go ahead and her food budget. There are different things that I was able to go ahead and do to be able to go ahead and have her be able to not only get an affordable payment for herself, but also remain a homeowner and have her kids be able to live in a house and be able to have an affordable payment.
Yes, yes. Well, that's great. And like I said, I may have zoned. How did she so happen to come to your agency? How were you contacted?
Sure. I was actually referred to her. She had called up HUD, and HUD had given her a number of different housing counseling agencies, and HUD certified housing counselors, which I am.
Yes.
And I went ahead and she spoke with me, and I met with her, and we hit it off, so you say, and I worked with her for almost close to a year.
Wow.
And trying to go ahead and work with her servicer and get her into a program that she can afford.
Yes, and amazingly, you know, the homeowners are going through the struggle, and sometimes they may feel that it's gonna, when they come to you, that this thing can be solved in 30 days.
Oh,
you know?
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure, I know exactly what you're saying.
Yeah.
Right.
And so that is good that you that I think she came to the right person.
Yes, sir.
To do that job. And so, what would you have to say to others that may be struggling out there? That what should they do?
Well, first thing, they need to understand that they have to have patience. That however they got into their problem, whether they're behind in their payments because of unemployment, divorce, or whatever, or reduction of income, whatever problem that they got into, it didn't happen overnight.
Correct.
So there's certainly not going to be a solution that's going to happen in 30 days or in 30 minutes or even in 30 seconds.
Yes.
So the main thing is for homeowners, if they're having problems, to number one, know that it's not going to be a quick fix, and also for them to know to contact a HUD certified or HUD approved housing counselor. Very important, because if they're able to go ahead and do that, the counselors are trained to be able to go ahead and know what to ask for, know what to look for, and they're able to go ahead and they work with the servicers on a daily basis.
Yes. Well, I really appreciate you and welcome you into the business of the nonprofit.
Thank you so much.
Housing counseling, because yes, you're keeping families together, but the main thing I look at is that you're actually touching lives and you're changing lives from the work that you do. Yes, and so I really appreciate that. I'm quite sure you probably have another story, maybe another homeowner. Do you have another story that
I do, as a matter of fact. I was working with another borrower that was actually trying to refinance his house.
Okay.
And this actually was in Montgomery County in Silver Spring. He was trying to refinance his house in order to get cash out to be able to go ahead and get a heart transplant. He went ahead and he was working with a number of different mortgage companies. And he contacted me because he wasn't getting, or he was referred to me because he wasn't able to go ahead and get enough money out to pay for all his medical bills as well as for the upcoming heart transplant.
Okay.
So what I was able to do for him is I was able to go ahead and sit down with the loan officer, review his loan application, and I understood through his medical condition that he was disabled. So what I was able to do is I was contacted Montgomery County and helped him get a reduction in his property taxes.
Great.
So that he was able to borrow more and have a lower monthly payment.
Super.
So I was able to go ahead and get him the money out that he wanted in order to go ahead and do his operation. And it really was rewarding to know that with all of everything that I've done, with how the experiences that I've had in the training that I've had, I'm able to go ahead and offer people and share with people and change people's lives through the nonprofit.
Yes. Well, that's good, and that's two amazing stories, where families that you're able to help, and I know that you're going to continue to do that work. Now, In reference to, there are homeowners that that the mortgages are getting ready to reset. Some may be aware. I know that the mortgage the servicers usually send out a notice, but that notice may come a year, maybe 6 months out. What would be your suggestion as to those homeowners if they foresee this coming up 6 months down the road?
Thank you for asking that. That's actually a very good question. And what they should do is they should review their mortgage documents. They also should go ahead and call up their servicer and make sure that they review their statements and they get to make sure they're in a fixed rate. And if the loan is going to adjust out, if they have an adjustable rate loan, for them to know how much it's going to adjust out. With an adjustable rate loan, there's always a financial index, and there's also a margin, which really makes what the true interest rate is.
Correct.
To go ahead and the services are supposed to notify that when payments change every 60 days before.
Correct.
And so they should go ahead and contact their servicer to know exactly what if the payment's going to change.
Okay, well, that is super. And if there's people out there in our audience listening today, and if they need to, and they may be in your area, how would you suggest that they contact you if they need your help?
Sure, they should go to our website, www.romkind.org, or they can call us at 301-899-6800.
Super. Yes. Well, Ross, I would like to have you back on in the near future, and maybe even have one of your guests to come on and share, how you were able to change their life.
I appreciate that.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Okay. Well, thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you.
All right.
All right.
Our guest today shared with you some of the great work his organization is doing in the community. If you have questions or need assistance, please contact Ross Levin and visit his agency website for additional information. Now it's time to check out our inbox. This is where we share a recent question that's sent to us from our viewing audience in reference to housing and financial education. Today's question comes from Arlington, Virginia. I'm a veteran. What are some of the advantages of using the VA loan versus FHA or conventional loan products? Basically, Veterans Affairs guarantees the VA loan. Well, I'm a veteran, and I've used my certificate a number of times. It's really one of the things, benefits that veterans have about the loan, that you're able to use it more than once. And so I was able to come and use my certificate even 10 years later from the original time. I used it first in the 1980s, and when I moved to this area, there was a size of a down payment that needed to be made on a purchase here. So I was able to use my certificate here to get into a home, which lead to one of the biggest benefits, I feel, is that there is no down payment required, 100% financing. Some of the other benefits are the funding fee. It can be financed into the loan, and the loan can also be used to pay off debt. If you have questions concerning financial education or homeownership, email our inbox at help@firsthomealliance.org and to get your questions answered. And tune into our next show to see if your question was selected to be shared with our audience. If you want to find out more about the services we offer, visit our website. Thank you for watching Rock Your Block in today's segment of First Home Alliance. I'm your host, Larry Laws, reminding you that I'm here to empower you with knowledge to enhance your financial fitness and answer questions you may have about housing to make your dream of homeownership a success.
Flex Boot Camp is a pilot program. We are seeking applicants that are serious about getting into financial shape and willing to take on the Financial Literacy Education Experience Challenge. We ask candidates for a 12-month commitment of financial management conditioning. We offer 10 financial education modules augmented by monthly confidential one-on-one financial coaching sessions. We are committed to help you reach your financial goal. Your success is our success. If you are interested, please visit our website for more information.